Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to TV5 and Mana TV from Atlanta. I am Praveen Puram. I am with Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. Namaste, Madhusudan. I would like to introduce our Sadguru, Madhusudan Sai. He spearheads a unique global mission of selfless love and service founded on the uniting vision of one world, one family, embodied in ancient India as Vasudhaiva Kutumbam. Since 2011, Sri Madhusudan Sai has launched rural hospitals, educational campuses, and institutes of excellence to serve the basic needs of health care, education, and nutrition. As a part of nutrition, today Annapurna Breakfast program serves 1.2 million children across India. And as a part of education, 5,000 students across India, Nigeria, Laos, and Australia, and getting free value-based education. And as a part of healthcare, we have 10 super specialty hospitals in India and 3 abroad, providing much needed free healthcare to rural communities. Over 25,000 free pediatric cardiac surgeries and procedures have been performed in these hospitals to save children suffering from congenital heart defects. What a fantastic service, Sadhguruji. All your service activities today, including the new medical college launched by our PM of India, Mr. Narendra Modi ji, on March 25th, all the services are free. How are you able to offer everything free across the different countries?
I think if you mentioned that there is this ancient Indian ideal of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which guides the vision of these institutions, and which necessarily means we are one family. Now, the very question is that if you think everybody is your family, how do you charge people for doing anything for them? A father does not charge his own son or daughter for the education that he's providing them, or a mother doesn't charge them for the food that she cooks for them. So also, we as an institution believe firmly that the whole world is our own, our family members, and especially the poor and the downtrodden, and they need all these basic rights of life, which is education, health, and nutrition, and should be provided free. Now, how do we do that? We have people from around the world, like-minded people who also believe in the same cause, who believe that these are fundamental rights for children and they must be provided free. So they associate with us, they assist us from around 30 countries who contribute towards this cause. We also have many corporates in India which contribute under their corporate social responsibility program. And as we all know, globally, ESG is the new thing, and many companies who are socially conscious are also coming forward to help us with these programs. And with the support of all these people, including some of the government schemes, we have been able to manage to run these institutions absolutely free of cost for the needy. And this medical college also, as we mentioned, which was inaugurated by the Prime Minister, will also be run totally free. So children or students can come with just one pair of clothes on their body, and if they qualify and they are deserving, they can get the entire education for free. That is the vision. So it's with the support of many people from around the world.
So what is the bonding factor here? For example, you are creating number of doctors and you are also giving free education. So what is the service motto you develop for the students inculcated in these institutions?
Yes, because these children are made aware of the fact that while this is free for them, there is a cost involved in providing these facilities, and this cost is borne by the society at large. So we make the students understand this idea that they have been supported by the society at large, and when they are capable, when their education gets over or they get benefited by the system, and when they're on their own, now is their duty to pass it on, this particular help that they receive from the society, to those who are in need in the society. So service is one of the core fundamental value that is inculcated in all the members of the organization, especially the beneficiaries, so that they carry a sense of gratitude, and that reflects in their serving the society at large when they are capable. So this is the core principle.
Thank you, Sadhguruji. And coming to the North America, I also see that you have already created some of the health centers and also upskilling program for especially the Africans and any other communities. That's a great service. So tell us more about that for all our North Indian friends, how they can be part of it and how we can know more about it.
Right. I think we were traveling in North America for the last 8 to 10 years, and we came across several issues here too. There is homelessness. There are youth who are disillusioned or they have kind of lost their way. There are broken families. There are mental health issues. And more than anything else, we found that in certain pockets of communities, there is this huge requirement for upskilling them, educating them, and employing them so that they can break this cycle of poverty, and then they can fend for themselves, and that way they can look after the next generation. So when we were doing this, we came across many people who were in need of this service. Now in India, there is a company called Rural Shores. This was founded as a social enterprise. What we think of it as, though it's for profit, but its main idea is to enable the rural youths to get upskilled and also get a good gainful employment, so that they don't have to leave their rural shores, as we said. They don't have to migrate to urban setup. Now, this helped a lot across India. And then when we came to the US, a similar idea came up, and this company called People Shores was incorporated on the same principles as Rural Shores. And this company is largely interested in upskilling the young men and women, especially from the underprivileged and the marginalized communities, and give them gainful employment and help them break the cycle of poverty. Now, these centers were set up in many places, and Clarksdale, where we are present, and also in Pine Bluff. Now it is there in Brooklyn, as well as the next one is coming up tomorrow in Atlanta. And these people are all followers who have had this vision and passion to help the community at large. So I personally have a very soft corner for the African American community, knowing the past that they went through, and there are still scars of the wounds of the past that they carry, and they need some help. We felt so. So in Clarksdale, when we were invited by the county to take care of this particular issue, and in association with the county, this organization was set up. So there we train people, upskill them, and then we help them get employment. And we ourselves find work for them so that they get employed in our centers. They get paid decently, and once they have good skills, they can even go elsewhere and work if they find better jobs. We have no problem with that as long as they are doing well. But alongside that, in Clarksdale, we also started a medical center, because we found there were a lot of people who were underinsured or uninsured, and we thought we could help them alongside our center. So there is a medical clinic too. And the Sathya Sai Sanjeevani Medical Clinic gives all the treatments completely free. Consultations are free. Even pick up and drop for the elderly and the disabled. So we have our own bus service. And we work alongside many other like-minded organizations and hospitals who are willing to take out the patients referred by us and give them the services at almost no cost. Now our idea is to work on developing this into a larger hospital, inpatient facilities with all the surgical facilities, so that people don't have to travel far. And we thought that that would be a good way of conveying to that community, which has suffered for a long, long time, that there are people who care for them. So one side you create employment, the other side you take care of their healthcare needs, and both should go hand in hand. I said we should deploy any profits if we make back into the same community to support them. So in a way, it's a kind of a very holistic approach for community development, especially in the marginalized areas. So we are going to be working even in Atlanta and many other such places. That's the vision of the company as well as the foundation.
I think this is a great initiative, and also it unites the diversity, especially in North America. And do you have any plans to expand the nutrition program as well? Because you see a lot of homeless as well in the United States. Do you have any footprint in the future?
Right. A nutrition program was largely for the children who were school-going children in India, mainly those who are going to the government schools, because in India, most of the poor children go to the government schools. The well-to-do people go to the private colleges and schools. So it was started like that. Then we extended it to women who are anemic or who were to deliver babies, but they were not sufficiently nourished. So this program expanded to help them. As of now, in these area like Bay Area, in Boston and some of the North American states, we do have Feeding the World program. We call it as Feed the World. In that program, we do provide meals like soup kitchens, and we provide packed meals on weekends. So that happens all the time. So it's not like an organized nutrition program for school-going children, But for the homeless and those who need that help, our organization and the people in our members of our organization in different states are doing this a feeding program where they give them packed hot meals.
Thank you, Sadhguru, for enlightening and telling more about this. I just wanted to touch upon spirituality, right? So you always lay stress on the services and the spirituality. What is spirituality? Is it something, if you go to a temple, do you think that is a spirituality?
Ah, I think spirituality is the most misunderstood and misinterpreted concept, especially in today's times. There were times when spirituality largely was concerned with ritualistic worship or having faith in a certain name or a certain philosophy. More, it was about religion.
Mhm.
But to me, spirituality is simply a way of life which is filled with selfless love for everyone and which translates into selfless service for everyone. So, to me, spirituality is simply having selfless love for all and also expressing that as selfless service to everyone, especially the needy and the marginalized. So, we teach that to our children, while religion can be a structured approach to a particular god or a philosophy or a particular idea. Spirituality is a very universal concept and which encompasses everybody without the boundaries of any differences. And this is largely based on the idea of selfless love, which is what God is supposed to be. There's all religions say God is love. And if you want to really know God through this path of spirituality, then you must know how He feels or how God feels things and does. And I think that is the idea of spiritual love, which is selfless love and service for all humanity.
Thank you. Thank you so much for explaining the spirituality. So, today's world, right? If most of the kids are westernized and we have everything, but still we can't find the happiness. What is your definition of happiness?
I think what you are talking of happiness is largely the pleasure part of it. You know, when you interact with the world and you get some kind of a pleasure from it, you call it happiness, and then we feel that that is the one which we were looking for. But no, anything that comes from the outside is not real happiness. It is only a kind of pleasure, it's a good feeling which you get when you succeed at something or when some of your desires get fulfilled, you get a promotion or you achieve something greater and you have good friends and relations and things like that. But happiness, by very definition, is something that springs from within. It's a very personal and individual concept. And what is my happiness is not necessarily the same for you.
Absolutely.
Like for somebody, happiness may mean the next promotion at their work. For somebody else, it may simply mean, going and sharing their time at an old age home or an orphanage. So happiness is something that is very individual. That is the first thing we should know. Second, we should know happiness is not something that is dependent on external things. It is something that comes from within when you are in tune with yourself. When you are doing exactly what you're born to do, that's when you feel really happy. And that happiness is something that we must teach our children to gain or experience, because otherwise we are only telling them that you can be happier if you can get a bigger car or a bigger house or a bigger salary. We are not able to explain to them that that can give you pleasure for some time, which you may label it as happiness. But truth is that happiness comes from inside when you're in tune with the very purpose of your life for which you're born. That gives you permanent happiness. And so every child is different. I always say, when you talk about child's rights, you must also give them the right to choose what they like to do, in the sense to help them to choose their passion and not just measure it in material terms. Let them be a singer, let them be sports people, let them be a journalist, let them be a spiritualist, whatever is actually making their hearts feel happy. And that is the happiness. If we teach our children, then they will never get into depression and anxiety and things like that, because we have seen with all the material abundance also, young people are going through bouts of depression and they then take to the wrong ways of solving that problem. But as I said, you're only treating the symptom by giving them advice, counseling, or medications. The real cause for them is they're not in tune with the purpose for which they're born. And that purpose, once you find, you'll find the happiness.
Absolutely well said, Sadhguru. Especially in the North America, you see a lot of depressions as well. You see a lot of counselors in the school, high school, middle school as well. So what is the message for the youth from you?
I always tell, I think America is a very unique country. This is a country where people have come from all over the world. They have become a nation by mixing and of cultures and different types of ideas and concepts and skills. I feel that there cannot be one single way of doing things here. Everybody is different, and we must acknowledge that. We can't paint them all with the same brush. They are all different people from different origins, from different cultures, and somewhere they all try to try to erase that and try to kind of fall into a straitjacket kind of an approach, and that doesn't make things better. That makes things worse. So youngsters also should know, they should go back and check for themselves, what is that which they resonate with, what is that which they can do every day and still not be bored or feel burdened. Of course, there can be many things. Some things can be materially beneficial, some things may not have that kind of material benefits. But at the end, as I said, if the youths have to be happy, one, they have to know what they are really, really wanting to do. And if they're good at doing something, I'm sure money, success, fame, everything follows. These are the shadows of your purpose. These are not the purpose. These are the byproducts when you do your purpose. So first, youths have to be told that according to your culture, origin, your background, your talent, skills, aptitude, you must choose to do things. And all the other things that are considered as success in the society will any which ways follow you. And then what happens is that we create excellence in the societies. Mediocrity goes away. Because otherwise you're ending up doing something that you're not meant to do. You can't do it the best. You're not happy doing it. You may get money doing it, but that doesn't make you happy. When you do exactly what you want to do according to your aptitude and purpose, you'll do it the very best. And then societies will become societies with excellence, societies with perfection. And overall human culture, human values, and human perfection in the societies will improve. And that will create happier and better societies. So our youths have to take this particular message. I understand the previous generation struggled to make the two ends meet. For them, survival was the word. But for this generation, survival is not really the word. Yes, it's purpose. Purpose should be the word that should guide them. And I think the great resignation that happened after COVID, that's clearly an indication of how people today are thinking. Many of them have gone back from their software jobs and become farmers. They've gone back to their towns and homes back where they belong, and they're doing what they love to do. It may not make them that kind of money, but then they have found that this is what keeps them happy. And with very little material acquisitions, they are still happy. I think that is something that's already begun, and this is a thing which I'm watching across the world. Youngsters are taking to this path, so the people in America also can advise their youngsters that find that purpose that makes you feel good, that makes you feel happy, that makes you never get bored or feel burdened. Every morning you wake up with a winged heart, with joy in your heart that you're going to do this exactly what you wanted to do. And then you'll never be tired. And societies will definitely become better societies, happier societies. Crime will reduce, unwanted, unnecessary evils of the societies will disappear, because nobody needs those anymore, because everybody's happy unto themselves. So that is the message for the youth.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sadhguru. I think you have touched a good point on COVID. Do you think after COVID, the unity and the diversity across has strengthened?
COVID, like any other thing, has both the positives and the negatives. But I would like to rather see the silver lining in the dark cloud of COVID. COVID did put the world through a lot of suffering. A lot of people lost their loved ones, jobs, lost their money, went through many bouts of depression, anxiety about the future, and things like that. But at the same time, this COVID is one issue that the whole world faced it together. Absolutely. If the war was happening in one country and the other country was not concerned about it, like even today as it's going on. But COVID was something that was everybody's concern. And the pain, the loss, the suffering, the fear, anxiety, everything was the same, whether you were an American, Australian, Japanese, Indian, African, didn't matter. So I think in that way, COVID did create a sense of unity and kind of sensitivity amongst the people of the world. So I feel that we should build upon that. We shouldn't forget these lessons, that in this pain and suffering, we all became one. And we all prayed for each other. Countries sent help to other countries. Even when they needed so much help back home, they did go out and help their neighbors. So in a way, that crisis bonded us as humanity in a better way. But I'm afraid that if we do not follow up on this lesson or do not practice it now, I do not wish that another COVID should come to teach us this lesson again.
Absolutely.
I think we shouldn't forget it before it's too late. We must practice this, help people get sensitive to the pain and suffering of each other. And I think those who have more, God has blessed them with more, they should have the heart to share it with those who have not and create a more equitable world. I'm not saying give away money and just donate and make people lazy, but I'm saying try to create opportunities, equitable opportunities for those who have less. Give them education, give them health, give them shelter, give them protection, give them opportunities basically to rise and prove themselves. And that is something that COVID can teach, because how much of our wealth we have in COVID, you never knew. You could go to the best hospital and throw as much money as you want, but no doctor was sure whether you will survive this whole ordeal. So money had its own limitations, and COVID has shown us that.
Absolutely.
And I think that is something that we must understand, that life is fragile. It's every moment is precious, and we must spend it in the most valuable way that's possible. And I think the best way to spend it is when you can help another person live his or her life better. And this is the lesson from COVID. I do hope policymakers, governments, organizations like ours and yours, we will take this message to the whole world and will not let our next generation forget this precious lesson that we have learned through so much of hardship. It's a costly lesson, and we should not just forget it. That's my hope.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sadhguruji. You have been doing a fantastic, your foundation has been doing number of activities. So I think the reach to the people, I don't see much. And I just wanted to ask you from North America, how we all can be part of this, your foundation, and help on various activities like nutrition, health, and also education. How we can make the youth and also the businesses in North America to be part of your organization.
I think the first step that you have already taken to try and creating this awareness about our work. So far, we have been working more and talking less, and that is the reason why not many people know about us. But we have been advised that we should also talk about it, because there are a lot of good people in the society who want to do good, but perhaps they don't know how to go about it. They do not know whom to associate with. So this is something that your organization can do by spreading the word, and then everybody who is interested may start contacting us or joining hands. This apart, in America itself, we have 3 or 4 foundations in different places. They're all available for people to join hands and work. Like these employment programs are there, education programs are there in America too. We have feeding program is there. And if there is a disaster, our people do go out and do what they can do at the very best. So these are possibilities in America. But otherwise, in India, yes, definitely those who are of Indian origins, my special request to them would be that they have come from a country just so ancient and so beautiful. But at this point of time, there are people back home who have still not crossed the chasm. This is our collective moral responsibility to help them also cross over. And crossover means to cross over that problems which are there. They can't get education or healthcare. So we are trying our best. And in corporates in America, there are a lot of foundations in America who have been doing tremendous charitable work across the world. I hope they will get to know about us, and they also can participate. Since we already have foundations in America which are approved under the laws over here, and you have all the benefits that you get when you share your resources through these charitable foundations as per the American law. So it makes it very easy for people to even participate remotely. Otherwise, those who would like to be physically participating with us, there are many places now. And through this video, I'm sure you'll give the links to various of our websites of the foundation. They can get in touch with any of these and they can help. And youngsters and youth, this is my appeal. Please spend a part of your time and energy in serving a greater cause. I know it's a busy time, you have to earn, but I'll give you a simple formula if that helps you. I tell our people, please spend as much time and resources in the service of the society as is your age. Which means if you're 25-year-old, 25% of your time should be spent in helping the society. If you're 50 years old, 50% of time and energy should be spent in helping the society. If you're 75 years old, 75% of your time, energy, money should be for the sake of others. And if you're 100 years old, and naturally all your time is for others, not for yourself. So it's a simple thumb rule, I would say. If you follow this, I'm sure it'll go a long way in solving a lot of problems that are plaguing our societies across the world. If everybody follows this simple dictum, I think it will help them to also allocate their time and resources and be disciplined about it, so that it is a consistent basis they're able to serve and help people.
Thank you, Sadhguru. Thank you for blessing us and also the channel, and blessing Atlanta as well. Thank you so much. And this is the message from Sadhguru, and I'm sure that you are watching this and you'll be part of this a great foundation and help each other. Thank you. Thank you, Sadhguru.